Okay, so I think how we're going to introduce this one, we are going to read through a bunch of topics, and the game is we've got a frustration meter,
Yep.
okay? And you've got to rate how frustrated these topics make you on a scale of 1 to 10,
All
but
right.
you've only got one 10 that you can use each per
Okay, so
topic.
10 being the most frustrating
Yeah,
thing.
the
Yep.
most
Okay.
frustrating thing.
All right.
Okay, so
And how many topics are we going through? Or like titles or whatever they are?
well, there's a fair few. There's a
Right.
lot actually. There's
Okay.
yeah, there's a lot.
Are we
So
elaborating on why they frustrate us, or are we just giving a
y-
number and going?
yeah, you can elaborate. Yeah, you
All
can
right.
elaborate.
All right.
So people who say they want to get strong but never track anything. Oof.
Oh, come on. That's you. That's you all day. You've got to answer that one. So,
Ooh, ooh. But the thing is, I've only got 110, haven't I?
yeah, you have. So I guess you've got to be.
I the problem about this is there might be something that isn't more frustrating than this as a topic's called because I don't know the topics. I'm literally
Yeah.
just reading them. Seven. I'm gonna go with
Mm.
seven because I know a lot of people that have got strong coincidentally by not tracking anything.
Yeah.
But there's a ceiling to that where you'll find that people will make potentially sometimes if they're lucky a little bit of progress if they're just consistent, but that'll plateau out really quickly.
Mm.
You know, I suppose this is where my OCD probably comes in, like pretty handy. I track everything,
Yeah.
and it's like anything. It's like obviously planning in life, sometimes, you don't need to plan for everything, but if you want a very specific outcome, you have to plan. Like it's
Hmm.
like anything.
Yeah.
Imagine like going to, I don't know, you want to go to a specific part in Greece, right? And go on a tour of the countryside and you want to see you've got a plan for that. You can't just rock up in Greece and think, oh yeah, let's just
Let's hope I
wander
get
off
there.
today and hope I get there, you know? And the same applies with training. Like,
Yeah.
you need to have a structure, you need to have a plan. And if you're not tracking in your numbers, you probably don't care enough. You really
Mm.
don't, because it's easy to do that. That's something you can control. You can put in your numbers,
Takes
right?
seconds,
Like
doesn't it?
it takes
Yeah.
seconds. It really does. It's not hard, you know? So yeah, people that don't track their numbers, how do you know that if you're getting stronger or not?
Yeah.
You don't, do you really? So
But
and
you
it's
wouldn't favor RPE for that then?
yeah, RP, let's just guess everything, eh?
I know you
Um
don't like that one, do you?
no, I don't. But yeah, so what you'll find with people that don't track their numbers in is that they're very they switch out their program a lot
Right.
because they haven't got the discipline to begin with to even put in the number. So you'll find then that when it doesn't work, they'll blame the program that they're doing, even though they're not tracking in anything, and then they'll change to a different approach, and it's just
Yeah.
this vicious circle. But anyway, um, let's have a look. People that don't put their weights away in the gym.
Well, I'm not often in a commercial gym, but when I've been there, I'm astounded by it. When people typically I see it in Portugal, people just leave the weights on the barbell. I'm just like, just I don't know. For me, that is just like the epitome of laziness in the gym.
Yeah.
I
Yes,
just
that's very lazy, isn't
yeah,
it?
it's like I don't know. To me, that's like being in a restaurant as well, almost on the same level as, and a waiter or waitress serving you your meal and not having the courtesy to say thank you.
Yeah, yeah,
That
it's a
is,
basic thing, isn't
yeah,
it?
yeah.
Yeah. Where are you going with that then?
I don't. It's not going to be up there. It's not going to be the highest one because again, I'm not exposed to that often. So say a six,
A
five, six,
six, right?
five. Yeah,
Yeah,
five, five.
yeah. It is frustrating though because
Yeah,
it's like it's just like you say, it's basic human decency. It's an
yeah.
amazing thing. Gym I used to train at, not his current gym. His current gym is brilliant, but gym I used to train at before
Hmm.
this, I won't mention any names. I went back there on a day pass because I've forgotten why. I think me and my mate were training because the gym I train at currently, Pacific,
Yeah,
they don't do day passes. So I was meeting up with my mate. So I went back to the old one. I couldn't believe it, mate. It was like plates out everywhere. I was just
yeah.
like, how can you operate? The collars as well were just like all over the gym.
Oh, that's terrible. If you're in a gym and you can't find the collars to go on the bike, yeah, that's just
Oh, it's
ridiculous.
mad,
Yeah.
mate. Absolutely mad. Okay. Let's have a look. So next one, the word toning.
You or me?
Go on, you go again.
Um, I don't know. I wouldn't say this is high up there. I think if a coach doesn't understand, that you can't tone a muscle, then that's obviously a problem. But I think using that language, if you're speaking to a client, um,
Right.
that's fair enough because you're just speaking in the client's language. Like if someone
Right.
comes, I think also if a client comes to you and they're like, "Oh, I just want to get toned," and you're like, "Oh, ha, 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 ha. There's no such thing as toning. You can make a muscle bigger, you can make a muscle smaller, you can grow, gain fat, lose fat." Let's just say, yeah, you don't need to be a wise ass about it. You can also
Yeah.
just, what they mean, that they want to essentially
The thing
improve
is,
their
you
body
can look
composition.
more toned.
Yeah, of course you can.
You can
Like a
look,
muscle holds more tone the more you train it with like
yes.
tension. So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
what people typically mean is they want to lose some body fat and gain some muscle.
Yeah, that's all it is. So that's what people mean. No. So what would you rate that one?
Like a 2 or a 1 out of
A
10. It
two,
doesn't.
two or one. Okay. Um, this is a good one. People doing endless exercises but never adding weight.
Go on, you.
Oh, now I'm not gonna look at any of the other topics.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna have to use up my 10.
Oh, I thought it would be because it's just that one, isn't it? Of like not progressively overloading, but doing everything to fuck
I think
around.
I'm gonna miss out my 10. Yeah,
Yeah.
I is a 10 for me, that one. And I'll tell you why. The reason that one's a 10 for me is because I think a lot of people, I think this is such a common thing. That's why it's a 10 for me. And it's not frustration, that's the wrong word. It's not frustration. It's more disappointment, I think, where um I just want to see people succeed.
Mm.
Right? And look, it's obvious to me, but it's not to other people because I've had to live this for myself, and not everybody, has the opportunity to really do that. They spend time doing other things and all of this sort of stuff. So they're being told that if you just swap out, and do a bunch of different exercises and, you know, vary the loading and, basically follow a sporadic way of training, that's going to get you a result.
Mm.
But what it fails to recognize is that the human body is a biological system like any other that needs to be incrementally stressed over time. So if you are constantly rotating exercises, what are you doing? You're rotating the stress, you're
Yeah.
changing the stress, not just the weight, but you're also changing how that weight is distributed around your body.
Mm.
Um, Now, when you change that, you change the adaptation. So what we do is a very different. We keep in the same exercises from when you start training to when you
Yeah.
finish training. We recognize why those exercises are the best for training means, and we incrementally stress the system over time. I was chatting to two of my clients about this earlier, friends, they're really close mates of mine, in the gym. And they saying, I keep my finger on the pulse and I don't take my finger away. I'm always I always recognize that the stress has to go up over time.
Mm.
And as soon as the stress stops going up, I that's mission creep. I call it mission creep, where something has changed. I've made a
Yeah.
fundamental error and we need to get back to the stress. That's something that we pay attention to always. And when I
Mm.
look around at people's programs, from training perspective, they're doing a bunch of different things. The stress is always changing, and that's why they're not adapting.
So they're not
And
getting the stimulus then in order to, yeah.
so it's just biology. It's like
Yeah.
superhero example, mate. When Deadpool, right? I love Deadpool, so I'm bringing him up. He's in the incubation chamber, and he underwent a huge amount of stress, and he turned into a superhero afterwards. That's a
Hmm.
very extreme example, and it's a hypothetical example, but it's because his biology changed.
Yeah.
And in training, you need to give your body a reason to change. It's biological, right? It's just principles, biology.
Mm.
And you need to follow that process. Stop swapping out exercises, like incrementally load the body over time, and the rest will take care of itself, you know?
Yeah.
You noticed it, didn't you, with your
Oh
squat
yeah,
going
yeah,
up?
100, yeah, God, yeah,
Oh, go
100%.
on. Tell the people, sir, what happened to your hey, go on. Hey, you don't have to drop any names in. I'm just,
How the sprint speed went up. Yeah, it did, to be fair. But like, so yeah, obviously I progressively overloaded my squat over, I think it was about 9 weeks, 10 weeks, maybe, about 10
Right.
weeks. Um, and then um, step back from it then, from like the obviously the intense loading and progressively overloading it, dropped it down. It's probably down to like about 80%, 85%. And then allowed myself to recover before then going to sprint on the Friday last week. And yeah, like smashed my fastest ever time on a 10
How
meter
how
fly.
much did you break it by out of interest?
Well, my fastest time before that was 9.1 meters a second. On last Friday, I hit 9.4 meters. I think it was
Oh, so
9.4.
it's a fair bit.
It was over 21 miles an hour. And last time my PB was 20 miles an hour, just over 20 miles an hour. So it was like
That's a
one,
big increase.
yeah, it was pretty big. So I was like, I couldn't believe it. I looked at the so obviously my phone was recording and I had the data, the GPS stats on there. So it's obviously live and you can see it after every sprint. So I walked back then, had a look at it. I think it was on my it was either my third, I was doing um, six 10-meter flies with a 30-meter build up. It was either on my third or fourth one. I think it was my third. And I was just like, fuck, friggin' hell. I was not expecting to see that, you know?
It's
Um,
because it is when you told me, I wasn't surprised in the slightest because I
yeah.
know how this works. Now, obviously, I couldn't control that would happen because as you age as well, that can affect
Yeah, obviously
things.
that's working. Yes, I'm 41 now, aren't I? It's just not like I,
Absolutely. So
yeah,
that's why I never give you a definitive answer because you'd
yeah,
ask me and you'd say, "Well, is this gonna, benefit my sprinting time?" And I was always
yeah.
careful in answering that,
Mm.
for that reason. But it doesn't surprise me because I've
Because
seen it happen. What's
I'll
that?
caveat as well. A few times I've sprinted, like I sprinted one day on the grass. Um, it was like it wasn't a great surface to be sprinting on, and I was doing it on fatigued legs, and I was like, oh, look at this, I'm not hitting the speeds that I have previously. And like you were saying to me, obviously, I was still fatigued then. I'd obviously squatted. I'd progressed another 2.5 that Monday. I think this was then the Friday. I'd played football. I trained again on the Wednesday. So obviously I'm on fatigued legs. Whereas last week I trained on the Monday, but not obviously maxing out on my squat or anything. I played football and then I just trained upper body on the Wednesday, played paddle for an hour and a half on Thursday, which I don't class as a workout. And then some of my legs for me were relatively fresh. So I was able to just like extend it and yeah, felt good.
And that's where phases matter. Won't get too deep, we'll stay on this topic, but that's where phases matter for athletes because
Mm.
in the preparatory phase, you will notice a drop off in practice performance because you're trying to benefit your physiology, like the underlying force production
Yeah.
capacity. So you're going to notice a little bit of a drop off in practice performance, but then you fully realize that then in the you phases,
Yeah.
you
Once you
know.
allow that fatigue to,
That's
yeah.
all that happened, just on
Yeah.
a micro scale.
Mm.
So there we go. You added
Yeah.
weight to your squat, right? Like
Yeah.
you
Yeah. I
you
know.
you
And
you went up.
yeah, and it's contradictory to what a lot of people say, isn't it? Oh, squatting won't do anything for your speed. Well, you're stupid if you think it will. Yeah. But
So
to be
do you
fair, squats.
understand like why I banged on about it the way that I
Yeah,
did,
because
you
there's that
know?
day when we weren't sprinting, wasn't it? And I was like, and I was like, friggin' hell, how have you just done me across 10 meters? And I was like, I was like, I expected you to because of like the amount of force you can produce. So your ability to literally push off the start is,
But right, there we go, right? You just
yeah,
said it because of the four. But you wouldn't have thought that had I had not been able to produce that type of force. So
No,
it
yeah,
just
I
goes
know.
to show it's a fact. It
Yeah,
one,
it's the ability to
yeah,
overcome an issue, isn't it? So,
absolutely, yeah.
um,
So oh, that's wild, man. That's
yeah,
wild. You've
yeah.
torched it basically,
Oh yeah,
the
yeah,
old one.
completely. Yeah,
Wow.
by quite a chunk as well. And like I said as well, it was yeah, it's quite gratifying because I'm like I said, I'm not. It's not like I'm 25 or something, is it? You know?
All those speed coaches that told you that squatting doesn't matter or transfer
I know. Yeah, that's the thing you hear
sprint
all the
time.
time. Is like there's no transfer. It doesn't transfer. Or like I think if you are getting like like you've told me so many times, if you're getting generally stronger in your training, which what training is, and you're practicing your sport or the skill, then no
I know.
surprises there when it improves.
Explain to me how a general adaptation like force production can't transfer to a skill.
Unless it somehow interferes with your ability to perform that skill. Like you're doing so much of the training side that
Right.
you
You get the
almost
dosages wrong.
that you like detrain the skill side. That's the only
Yeah.
way I think anyway.
But that again, that's got nothing to do with force production.
No.
That's got to do with the fact that you haven't planned your training and practice properly,
Mm.
and the right dosages. If you get stronger and you
Yeah.
increase your force production, have more underlying potential. That's all it
Mm.
is. It's more
Mm.
underlying. It's like you get a bigger engine, right? And then basically you practicing allows you to know how to use that engine correctly, and
Yeah.
how to actually drive the car, you
Mm.
know. But yeah, anyway, getting sidetracked. Let's get back on track. So, but no, well done, mate. That's honestly, I didn't realize
No,
you.
credit to you as well, because I wouldn't have been pushing my squat, would I, otherwise, after if it wasn't for that day, really.
Oh yeah, well that day over the is that what did it over the 10?
Yeah, I was
That's
like,
what did
oh,
it.
I can't have this. I was like, boom. I was like, what's going on? I was like, to be fair, I was when we were going down there, I was like, he's going to do me over 10 meters because of like how much force you can apply. But then I was like, oh, what is it? I was like, and then you like saying, it's just like your force production. So like, no,
Yeah.
yeah,
Whereas if I was to take, which I don't, but if I was to take sprinting more seriously, I would need more the practice,
yeah, probably the top end side, isn't it? I would
Yeah,
think.
yeah. But anyway, um, fitness influencers pretending everything is a secret hack. This is your
Um,
turn.
Everything's a hack. Oh God. Um, I'd probably say maybe a seven. It's just like,
Oh, it's the highest one for you, isn't it?
well,
Seven.
no, six. Yeah, seven. Yeah, we'll say a
Oh,
seven.
you're a bit mild, you aren't you? Am I am
At the
I
moment,
am I too harsh?
I don't know. There's nothing that's really like, lit the firework, lit the spark for me. I mean, it's
Yeah.
annoying when you see like a fitness influencer almost like they're selling the secret sauce, but it's, oh, wait, it's behind my paywall. You've
Right,
got
right.
to, subscribe for this month, and then you'll get the whole
The
shebang.
thing is, you can see through it, can't you? That's
Yeah,
the
of course you
thing.
can. Yeah,
So that probably affects that rating because you understand, like, obviously that it's not a thing, so it probably doesn't bother you as much.
no,
No, I'd agree with that. I'd agree with that. I suppose it is annoying when people obviously get manipulated and spend money, and that is annoying. But it's unfortunately. I did a presentation in my group actually about social media and kind of
yeah,
the issues around social media, particularly in our industry. I
mm,
think there's it creates a lot more problems than it solves in many ways,
yeah, yeah,
and what to look out for and things like that. But no, I think if you're educated, you can usually skirt around those accounts. But yeah, anyway. Um Let's have a look. Coaches who make simple things complicated to look intelligent.
Go on, you crack on with that one.
I feel like my ratings are a bit high. Maybe I need to calm down. Yeah, this is what this has taught me. Um, I wouldn't see it as such as a fundamental issue as the not adding weight thing, because that legitimately affects people's results. Like,
But
and
yeah,
and it's something that people often will avoid.
Mm.
Not whether, I'm not saying that's intentional. It just, again, a lack of education. But again, it's a big issue. I
Yeah,
wouldn't
yeah,
say that this is as a big issue, right? Like I see tons of coaches on. I'd say most coaches probably, they're talking about, specific angles to hit a certain head of the muscle, or
oh yeah.
whatever it is, right? And manipulating or contorting your body in these certain positions to be able to get maximal multi-unit recruitment. And he goes on and on and on. Nutrition's the same way, right? Like,
Mm.
you see tons of people overcomplicating things. And I would say a 7 for
Yeah.
that for me. I would say it's pretty frustrating.
Mm.
Um, but again, I think it's something that hopefully a lot of people are starting to see through now, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I
7
would say
seems
so.
pretty
I'd say
fair.
so. Yeah.
Um, People who want a transformation but won't change their habits.
Um, I would say a 7.
Okay, right, yeah.
Yeah. I guess I don't know. I guess it's that thing of you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink, really.
Yeah, yeah.
I guess I've spoken to people before who say they want something, and then either they're not willing to sign up for coaching, or or they're like, oh no, I won't invest financially, but they can obviously probably afford it because of based on their lifestyle and things, or they're just like, oh, I want this, but I'm not willing to not go and get smashed every week on alcohol or whatever it be. Yeah. So, but at the same time, it doesn't really frustrate me too much because obviously you're trying to help the person, but just like I said, you can lead the horse to water, you can guide them, but if they don't want to do it, they don't want to do it. I mean,
Right.
there's nothing you can do about it, you know?
Yeah, that's the key thing. There's nothing that you can do about it,
No.
100%. Um, I have a similar thing in strength training
Mm.
where it's usually about 8 months in. And that's usually the tipping point for a lot of people, where 8 months things start getting really hard,
Yeah.
usually. And that's where I'll notice either a drop off,
Mm.
or someone pulls through and then it kind of just stays in their life for the rest of their life, you
Yeah.
know? The 8 months is usually the point where you'll see if it's for them or not, because it's hard. I was just chatting to someone earlier and they were saying, yeah, I can understand why people don't sometimes follow through,
Yeah.
because having gone through this process, as I said earlier, you can't run away from it, right?
No.
It's like, it's either you do it or you don't do it. It's very kind of cutthroat in that way, because uh, yeah, you're either doing it correctly or you're not, and
Yeah.
if you're
Yeah.
not, then you're out, you
Mm.
know. But if you do, then, oh man, you get so much in return. You really do. You earn something that I've said it on here before. It's an unfair advantage.
Mm.
Being strong, being able, no matter what room you walk into, people pick up on that. They really
Yeah.
do. And they know it's an advantage too. And they wish they could have that.
Hmm.
But it's something that you have to earn. You
Yeah, of
earn
course. Yeah.
strength. It's
Yeah.
years and years and years and years of work that you have to compound, and it'll benefit you in every facet of life.
Mm.
So yeah, it's the 8 month mark. But again, as you said, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink.
Mm.
So 100%. I'm enjoying these, mate. I like this style. It's
Yeah, it's
good,
good.
isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Should we
almost
keep
like
going?
it's like a quiz show. You don't know what's coming next.
Yeah, I don't know what's coming next. I'm
Yeah.
literally just scrolling through. The obsession with abs is the definition of health.
Yeah. I mean, it's up there pretty high, isn't it?
Oh, oh, here we go. Is it now? It's up there pretty high for
Well, I
you,
would
is
say so.
it?
Yeah, it's pretty annoying, isn't it? Because like anyone can look like this picture perfect ornament, and not be able to do shit with their body. You know,
Yeah,
I've
yeah,
seen
for
gazillion
sure.
people who look great, you know, probably look great on the Men's Health cover. And like I've talked about it before, they probably would blow their hamstrings up if they were to run a sprint. They probably, you know, don't have the skill level to play a sport or anything like that because all they're just, just going in doing a bodybuilding split or something like that, and you know, tracking every calorie to the nth degree and worried about getting fluffy and all the whole
Mm,
bollocks that comes with it.
mm.
Yeah.
So what were you putting in there?
Well, I haven't put anyone anywhere high up, so let's go for an eight. Well, it doesn't.
8. Oh
It's not gonna be
no.
that much, but yeah, go on, put
Oh,
it as an eight.
it was. So you want to pull it back? You can pull it back if
Yeah,
you
I'll put it
want.
back seven. Seven.
Seven.
None of these things really really like infuriate me yet. So
You've answered, I think, 7 to everyone.
I'm
I
just
think there
close to
was
sitting
one.
on the fence, aren't I? You know.
Yeah, right. Let me have another look. So, okay, so 7.
Hmm.
I'm gonna try and find one now that I think. Let's see. Okay. People blaming external things for everything.
Um, I don't know.
7.
It's tough there because I guess you don't know someone's circumstances, do you? You know.
Yeah,
So
context change things, doesn't
yeah,
it?
it's hard to say. Someone could
Yeah.
have, you never know what's going on. Someone could have an ill parent, or their partner is ill, and so they're saying they don't, they've got other demands, and you in your head might be thinking, oh no, you're just choosing not to go and train, or prepare a better food for yourself. Whereas really, not everyone, some things stay private, don't they? They don't, not everyone vocalizes everything, what they've got, the stresses
Mm.
going on in their life. So I think I say it's a tough one, really.
A tough one. Okay. Right. I am gonna get a 10 out of you somewhere.
All right.
Right, as I said, I'm gonna prompt it. Is saying 7 to everything. I need a 10. Help me. Let's see. So, here are some new ones. Uh, People who claim they don't have time but spend 3 hours scrolling every night.
It doesn't bother me. It's like a six. It's like a six because again, it's like if that was a client of mine, I'd be like, yeah, and I knew full well that they were doing that. But yeah, it's frustrating. But at the same time, it's just that choice, isn't it, of whether you actually want something enough or you don't.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm there to guide you and help steer give you the coordinates to steer the car, the roadmap. I can't make you drive the car down that road.
Right, right. Yeah, that's
So
fair enough. That's fair enough. Right, we're
yeah,
gonna do one more and
all
that's
right,
it. Okay.
okay.
I'm gonna try and find one that I
I think you
think
use some
bugs
more
you the
spicy
most.
ones next time.
Yeah, no, I do as well. Let's see. I need to try and find one. I think we'll call it there. I don't think I'm gonna get a 10 out of you.
Yeah, I mean, I can think of a few things that would probably go up there, you know, but
Like what? I'm intrigued. I'm actually curious to you. What would bug you?
um, age is a big one.
Age.
Oh yeah, and people go, oh, I can't because of my age.
Oh, so would that be a 9 for you or
Yeah, that's a
10?
nine. It's a
That's
nine
not,
because
yeah.
there are plenty of people who defy that. And it's nothing but an excuse, and it's self-limiting. You're
Right.
you're you're limiting your own ability, and your own, and you're bringing your own ceiling down because you think once you hit a certain age, that means yeah you're going to lose athleticism or you can no longer achieve athleticism. And like I wrote about the other day, in my opinion, unless you're someone who has been like a peak athlete and performing at the highest level during your 20s, there is no reason someone can't develop a greater level of athleticism in their 30s and 40s.
Yeah, or at
You
least
think, right?
maintain it. It's the same with
Exactly.
strength, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like there's going to be a decay period if you hit a high level of athleticism, strength, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
But there's no reason you can't try and maintain that as best as you can as you
No, and a lot
age.
of people are untrained in both areas, both in strength and if you want to talk about athletic qualities as well.
Well, they go hand in hand, don't they?
Yeah.
Is
So I
half
think
the picture strength.
if someone's introduced to those things, there's no reason they can't be physically better in their 30s, 40s, even 50s than they were in their 20s. You know, like let's be
Right.
honest, there are a lot of people now in the 20s who choose to spend a lot of their time, drinking, being hungover, poor diet, poor lifestyle habits, and they don't actually start considering their health maybe until they're a bit older. Like you are very mature for your age, aren't you? And it's what you
True.
work in as well. But there are a lot of people who don't value their health and their physical ability in the same way.
Man, I know so many people in their 20s, and I'm
Mm,
like, I have no idea how you're gonna be operating when you're like 50 or whatever. And
yeah.
like if you stay the same way,
Mm,
like um eh, yeah, I just couldn't imagine like how some people must feel waking up day to day because like the amount of alcohol people consume, especially as we talked about this in the UK,
mm,
is just astounding, mate. Like weekly, it's changing a bit. Recently we did an episode on it a few weeks back. I know on the Stephen Bartlett thing, but talk about like, yeah, you are gonna have problems as you age
mm.
if you don't look after yourself. But if you look after yourself and if you prioritize your health, and that doesn't mean being a goody two shoes year round,
Of
right?
course not.
But if you generally prioritize things,
Mm.
wow,
Just being a health-seeking individual, you know.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, definitely, definitely. So that would be the highest for you then, that you'd go
Well,
age.
for things we've discussed, I'm
It'd be
sure I
more
can think
pop
of other
up.
things that would, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
And
There
maybe for the
are plenty.
next one, I'll try and get them out of you. But
Yeah,
age,
like,
that's
there are
interesting.
plenty of nutrition ones as well that would, piss me off. But
Okay, here we go. Jim's does a complete 180 on the
no, yeah,
podcast,
I mean, I'm not
getting
off the top of my head now, but
progressively more angry. You just turned furious. But no, that was good, mate. I enjoyed that. Got
yeah,
me
it's a
thinking
decent one.
then.
Yeah.
But anyway, do you want to see us out?
No, I did it last time, so you can go ahead, sir.
Oh, right, I can do it. Okay. Well, guys, if you enjoyed that one, feel free to leave that rating review, subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next one.